All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Call to Action Live. We are on a weird night this week. This week we are doing it on a Saturday because we have something in store for you guys tomorrow, which we will talk about a little bit more later. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And joining me this evening, I have the amazing, talented, gorgeous, fantastic human being, Alex Mack. How are you doing?
Busted.
I literally thought you were talking about Danie because I was like,
I didn't know where she was going with it.
You're both so equally gorgeous and talented. It's really hard to distinguish between the two.
I like how it was like 90% of the time, though, even earlier when we were like game planning, we were like chatting, getting ready. I had to consciously be like, okay, she's doing this look, so I can't do that look. I had to do a different look because we look similar, and some people do get us. A lot of people do get us mixed up as it is.
Especially when we first started streaming together, everyone would confuse us. It was hilarious. So usually, if one of us has their hair down, the other one will have their hair up. So
there's a pattern here.
All right, and below me, I have the amazing, talented, gorgeous, fantastic Danie Joy. How are you doing?
What's up, y'all? Doing okay, Kelsey. Thank you for having me on Call Live. Yay!
Thanks for coming on. Yeah, we had some pretty interesting stuff happen this week. It was a pretty and fantastic match we had with Swag versus the Rock Stars.
Drip, drip.
I have drip. Yeah, it's funny. Anytime I talk about Schmodown, I have to say drip, drip with Swag, and my family does not understand. And
Me too.
They're like, wait, what? That doesn't sound good. And I'm like, okay, let's just explain some stuff to you.
Let me give you some like Hood 101 really quickly.
Exactly. All right. Well, we had that fantastic match of Rogue 2 versus The Wicked, which was an incredible match. I'm excited to talk about it. Like, what'd you guys think? Like, especially the opening. Oh my gosh! Like when we got to see Winston, the treasure that he is, give Roxy.
Yo. Are you
interviews?
Or are you talking about when he?
You could talk about whatever part of the beginning you want. I love giving her the L was just one of the highlights for me.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about you, Danie, but when I saw it, I was literally like, I like almost peed myself. I was laughing so hard. It just like I watching this, I was like, I know for a fact he's not proposing. So what the fuck is he doing? And then I was like, well, you set this L, and I was like, oh, you fucker, you asshole. That was really, really great, though. Not kidding. It was pretty fantastic. Not to mention, the man looks pretty stunning in a blazer. My dude, wear more blazers. Wear more blazers.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was so funny. The look on Roxy's face too, she was just like, what?
Can you hear me? If you can hear me, I'm frozen.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you too.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fantastic, and it was so funny. Winston, his theatrics with the Schmodown, I am really loving him as a manager. I love him as a manager overall, but his theatrics and everything is just top notch. He is so enjoyable. I am so happy he's a manager because he's
okay. Great. I'm back. I'm so sorry, y'all. I know that y'all could see me moving and talking, but my whole computer screen was frozen. So that's the funny thing about my internet right now. My internet is still kind of goofing off and all of that. So I didn't hear a single word any of y'all said this whole time, and yay.
So basically, when we just talked about Winston. One, he looks great in a blazer. My dude, wear blazers. You look great.
He does.
Just keep doing it. That when he obviously, no, he wasn't fooling anyone with this idea that he was proposing, but what was he going to do instead? Presenting the L.
Will you take this L?
And I hope the Hyben was the one. Be like, fuck this.
Get out of here.
I loved it. I really did.
It was so funny. It was incredible.
It's almost like he's an actor, you know?
Right? He's like, it's strange how he's good at that.
Right? Crazy.
Oh, but that was a great start to this match. Like, it just got you in a good energy. I was already, like you said, laughing so hard I could pee myself. It was great. And then the match started, and It was fairly close. I mean, Rogue 2 did kind of go ahead in front of the Wicked for round 1, but it was still fairly close.
It started on the round 1, I believe, being like 12-9 or something like that.
I think I have written down 14-10.
14-10. Okay, close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge, I feel like that is a huge gap going away from, coming away from round 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, not to say you can't come back from that, but it definitely puts you at a big disadvantage, which,
it's true.
you know, they were feeling it towards the very end.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I feel like round 1 doesn't necessarily make that big of a difference as long as you do solid in round 2. But if you are already behind in round 1 and then don't do almost perfect in round 2, then you're pretty bad shape by round 3. So that's for sure. What do you think, Danie, about round 1?
I thought round 1 was interesting. We saw 2 Inner Geekdom players venture out into regular singles matches. So for Adam Lavick and Jared Habon to do as well as they did, Adam Lavick doing a little bit better than Jared Habon. I think it was nice to see them get into regular singles play, and I think that it just kind of shows that they're both going to do well in this, and hopefully we get to see these teams continue on together, because I think ultimately, even though round 1 they're separate, I think they all work well as a team together.
Absolutely.
I feel like these were the debuts of 2 rookie teams, but also all these competitors are not rookies individually. So going into it, I felt like they were very perfectly matched up. Having Liz Shannon Miller, paired up with Adam Lavick, she's more focused on singles, and this is her branch into teams, which is awesome. But also Lavick, as far as I know, he's 90% of the time he's involved with IG, except in like season 2 or 3 when he was involved with Superhero News, like with Hector Navarro, which feels like forever and a day ago. But I really like this idea, because if you're able to have, a competitor on your team that's really great with IG, similar to, corruption, it really gives you guys the real advantage. Absolutely. So having both these teams being in that situation is really a huge benefit. So makes it even better.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed the teams. I feel like they do balance themselves very well, not only knowledge-wise, but personality-wise. I feel like you could tell that they get along well. Probably would enjoy studying together and things like that. There's definitely no, sometimes you see teams, put together through anarchy and stuff like that, where you could tell this team is just, forced together. They're not going to, get along great. But I felt like the really good dynamic between these teams. So that was fun. It's good to always see new teams coming out strong.
Do you feel like there was a natural chemistry there? Do you feel like overall...
I think I felt chemistry more through Rogue 2. I could just feel like that could have been a team that just happened by chance, not even be set up by a manager. But for both teams, though, I do feel like they seem to get along well, have a good balance with each other, things like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. With the round...
I'm frozen if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Yeah. What were the slices that they ended up getting?
So for round 2, I believe the Wicked went first, and they got biopics, which is an interesting category, and they kept it. So they
or as Roxy likes to say, biopics.
Biopics, I feel like, is kind of, unless that is your thing, that is a rough slice really for anyone, because there's just so many different types of biopics out there, and movies that are considered biopics that you may not necessarily have thought of immediately being one. But they got to 21 points in that round with that category. And then Rogue 2, they did DC, which, oh my gosh, you have Flavic on there. That was a really good spin. And they ended that round with 24. Mm-hmm. So it was... They both did really well in round 2.
I'm not going to lie. I was a little disappointed in the individual performances of the IG competitors in these.
That's true.
Just a little bit, to be honest. Mm-hmm. For example, Jared Hybon, he didn't get the Miles Morales question, which I felt like it was pretty obvious. It was a round 1 IG question, so I was very surprised he didn't get that one. But also Lavic, I felt like he should have been able to ace a lot of the round 2 questions that he ended up going multiple choice with. I was like, he should have been whipping through these, and he wasn't. Not to say he did horrible, obviously. I mean, he got like all of the questions are all about one, I believe. One of them being like who directed Swamp Thing, like 1984 Swamp Thing or something like that. But Jared Hybon, he should have gotten that steal as well.
Yeah.
So it was a little surprise, they weren't able to kind of get that correctly, considering. But
I feel like it could just have been one of those times with the Miles Morales part of it. Like is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the director of Swamp Thing.
Yeah. So one of the questions that Adam Labick got was, who's the director of Swamp Thing?
Right.
And he didn't know right away. So he went to multiple choice. He still got it wrong. And I think it was The Wicked ended up getting the question. Thing is, they didn't get it right either.
Right.
I believe.
I don't feel like 1984 Swamp Thing is common IG knowledge. I think
that's a level 1 question, though.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you compete in IG and think so, then
pointer,
but let me know, because I don't think that is a level 1 IG question. I think that just goes a little bit more into it's an older movie and stuff like that. But I don't play in IG, so I don't know the level of like how far this level goes. So.
Oh, I stand corrected. Thank you, Robert. Wicked did get the Wes Craven question. So Wes Craven was the one get it. So I was wrong on that one. So they did get that one right.
Yeah. But yeah, for that being like a round 1 IG question, when I play along, I tend to do fairly well in round 1 at least. Usually round 2, round 3 is where I'm stumped. And I had no idea what the answer to the question was. So
I have like some of the people that are in my faction. I even asked them, I was like, hey, do you guys know this question? And like several of them knew right away who it was.
Yeah. And those are people who study movies and stuff like that.
They're very into horror movies. They know a lot of these directors. So I think it's kind of geared specifically towards them to a certain degree. This was a little bit different. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And then going into round 3, the Wicked did get their 2 question point right, but did not get their 3, which led to a TKO with Rogue 2 beating them 24-23. Drip, drip. Swag Squad is kicking butt. They really are. And they're definitely one of my favorite factions so far. And I liked both teams a lot, but not gonna lie, I was kind of rooting for Rogue 2 because I'm such a Swag fan.
Me too.
Not kidding. Swag is like, honestly, they are becoming like one of the big faction fandoms, honestly. They really are. I feel like a lot of people still underestimate them. They're not in the conversation as far as like the top 3 or 4 factions right now, but I'm like, why the fuck not? They're great. They're doing fantastic. Don't get me wrong, like every faction loses, including Finstock Exchange, but they should 100% be in the conversation as of now.
Yep, absolutely. People don't sleep on Swag. Swag's coming for you.
Yeah. All of y'all know I've been on Team Drip Drip since day 1. So
that's true.
That is true.
All of us here have been with Swag since day 1. So no one's jumping on any what's up, John? No one's jumping on any bandwagons over here. So
I feel like we're no one's sleeping
on. Not sleeping.
No one sleeps on Finstock Exchange. There's number 1 in the league. Best players in the league. Who could sleep on Finstock Exchange?
They're all trying to be the Finstock Exchange.
Exactly, pretty much.
Well, when I read Finstock Exchange, like I don't just read it. Like I read it in a certain way in my head. Like Finstock Exchange,
like that, yeah.
Like I
like the way that John Roca says, "Horseman Exchange."
It's like Warfather or something making his chant,
channeling through us.
That's exactly like you can't be just a casual Finstock Exchange fan.
That was my John Roca impression. Was it good? Did y'all like it? I hope John, you approve.
Perfect.
Oh, but yeah, great match, great personalities. I am so excited to see where these teams go from here, especially Rogue 2, and see how they play with against their next team, and see how Swag keeps kicking butt.
Well, who do you think Rogue 2 is going to go up against next, if that's the case.
Victory!
Who do you think? Who do you think would be a good, adversary for them for their match coming up next?
I'm interested to. Oh no, that.
So we got like Deep 13. We also have obviously Real Rejects is going to go up against the Pride here next week.
Mm-hmm.
But also not the Experiment. The Delinquent and Oyama. What is their team name?
Final Exam?
Yeah. Final Exam. Yeah. Final Exam. I feel like that would be a really solid matchup. What do you guys think?
It's going to be fun.
And that's both swag, so it would be swag v swag.
I know.
That's bound to happen at some point.
It is. There's just going to be interesting promos and post credits and things. So.
Yeah.
It's just like in Finstock Exchange, inevitably, Roka and Bateman and Merle, at some point, they're all going to fight each other. At some point.
Well, we saw Ben and Dan already go up against each other.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Or Roka versus Bateman. It's going to happen at some point.
It's going to happen. But yeah, no, I think Final Exam would be fun against them.
Oh, Deep 13 Final Exam. Yo.
Oh, so whoever wins that, maybe.
Solid, yo. Do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Any final thoughts on that match before we start speculating? Just briefly, probably talking about the exhibition matches. We won't go into spoilers, but we want to just.
Are we going to talk about Claudia Dolph versus Warfather?
Oh, yes. All right. Yes, we got to talk about. You got feelings. Well, tell them, Alex. What was your feelings?
No. Okay, Danie, have you seen this match?
Wait, go again because I was frozen for just a bit. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking a lot and I feel bad.
No, don't. I just. What match are you talking about?
Well, Claudia Dolph versus Warfather. I feel bad going into this match. Like Claudia Dolph, I mean, like her situation was really wonky. I don't want to say I felt bad for her, but she was like constantly moved around and she was on like 3 different teams and she was moved and traded. I was like, man, get this girl a home. Come on now.
I think even though she lost that match, it's important to see how well she played throughout that entire game. So I think anyone that traded her just because they didn't know who she was kind of lost out because she seems like a pretty formidable competitor in this league. And I think she's going to do well going forward.
I disagree.
Ooh, let's hear this take, okay. Alex. I'm excited.
No, it's not. I don't feel like it was a hot take. No, the thing is, she didn't perform well in first round. She did not perform well in third round. She got the question of who is Aaron Eckhart's character in Dark Knight wrong.
But here's the thing, though. You can't, those simple questions and stuff like that, you can't do it. Chris Adams earlier in the chat said that in his reaction, he couldn't pull Miles Morales because it was just something that wasn't in his head.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Those questions can definitely be something that should be forgiving on someone's first match in the league.
Absolutely.
Right under the light. But I think the rest of her performance was awesome. Like the way that she dominated round 2.
Oh, amazing round 2.
And I think that once she gets used to playing the game a little bit more, she's definitely going to be a tough competitor.
I think she just needs a lot more polishing up to do. It showed that she clearly has a lot of potential. She dominated round 2 with musicals. I was like, damn, girl, swept through it. She did get only 4 questions correct in round 1, but also Warfather, I don't feel like he performed all that particularly well either.
Not that well in round 1.
Yeah, neither one of them did. Both of them got like maybe 4 questions right.
In my opinion, when I watched the match, Warfather actually got lucky to pull off that win. They're like getting round 3 that kind of really allowed him to beat Claudia. I thought Claudia was going to win throughout the entire match, and then all of a sudden, here comes Warfather from the back. And pulled it off. So.
Yeah. I honestly assumed that she was going to go in and really kind of sweep it. And I do feel bad when I say like Warfather got lucky. But at the same time, both of them didn't perform amazingly well, but we're also used to a certain degree of competitors. At this point, we're used to people like coming in from fan leagues. We're used to like, Robert Parker, like sweeping it, things like that now. So it's kind of nice to kind of help put in perspective that people, thank you. Okay. So This is such a perfect match.
I don't know if that's true.
No, this is the perfect match because Brett Sheridan, Brett Sheridan, the evil twin of Brett Sheridan. Sheridan.
Oh my god. Oh, someone needs to use that, please.
Brett Sheridan is actually the evil twin of Brett Sheridan.
You heard it here first.
Playing on Brett Sheridan's behalf come his next match. That is a tongue twister right there. I don't know what I just did.
Alex, really quickly, I just want to touch on your comment about expectations with new people coming into the league. I think it's unfair for any of us as fans to put that type of pressure on anyone new coming into the league, because I feel like at some point that's just going to become daunting for any newbie that's coming into the league. So it's unfair to expect them to perform the way that we've seen other people perform. We got extremely diamonds in the rough when it came to stuff like Robert Parker and even Paul Oyama and Chance and Kevin, who have all come from the fan leagues and have done golden in this league. And Robert Parker pulling a fucking perfect match in his first round is an amazing feat. But those are rare things that happen, and I don't think that anyone should be putting any sort of pressure like that on any newbies coming into the game, because I think that eventually will make people turn salty in a sort of way, because then they expect these huge, great performances and stuff like that. I like to look at these first time matches as scrimmages in a sort of way. Like, you're just scouting out players, you're scouting out potential in these players and understanding, like, I don't want to call them JV leagues or anything like that, because even on JV, there's great players on JV teams, but it's finding these potential in these players and getting behind them in a way to encourage them. I just don't totally believe in hyping up these rookies as much as we can so they can become better players inside of the league.
It's true.
Yeah, I do think she has immense potential. It was clear that she does have like a solid knowledge base. She just needs a lot of polishing up to do, just like, Shannon's mentioned, she just needs some pressure, to make her into a diamond. I have no doubt she has the potential to get there. It's just going to take several more matches, because it was clear that she's not super familiar with the game, or at least it felt like that. Maybe it's the lights that kind of makes her uncomfortable. Maybe it's actually, maybe it's she doesn't have the knowledge, she didn't know these movies as well as she thought. Maybe it was just that suddenly the pressure, obviously there's 1,000,001 factors. I can't imagine being in her situation.
Right.
It's just, Schmodown is just, I don't want to say I expect a bit immense pressure. I'm going to put like all this pressure on them, but I do kind of expect them to come out at least being solid, having a really good knowledge base, for sure. And I don't want to put so much everything on the newbies. I think her in particular, I think we also kind of expected more from her because she was moved around quite a bit. And there was a lot of commotion about her in particular between the different factions. So a lot of this idea and mystery was kind of built up around her as a result. Now, it just didn't feel like I do feel like Warfather did get lucky. Not to say he didn't deserve the win. I agree. He played a better strategic game. And he just had a wee bit more knowledge at the moment. But again, just like that first round, some of the first round questions, I felt like they should have known better. And also, she swept through, musicals. Yet that was like the 3 or 5 pointer was also a question regarding a musical. So it was her strength. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised she didn't get that question when it literally was regarding like, where is certificate? What the certificate regarding like the bank bond or whatever it was.
But okay, so there's where you can argue that, because technically it is a musical, but it's still it's fucking not a remake, but part 2 of Mary Poppins that did not do well in movie theaters or anything like that.
About Mary Poppins, though.
I'm sorry?
She was asked a question about Mary Poppins, though.
The second one?
No, she was asked about in round 2. She was asked Mary Poppins question already.
Right, but was it the first Mary Poppins or the second Mary Poppins?
Well, she was asked about the first Mary Poppins, but in the second one, both songs at the very end is "Let's Go Fly a Kite."
Right, but here's the thing. I didn't watch that movie either. And that was, even though I know Mary Poppins like the back of my hand, I would never have remembered that the deed was on the kite. So that I think that was, to me, that was a hard question. I didn't watch the movie. I didn't watch that movie. I didn't watch Return of Mary Poppins.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out. It was always a long, long time ago. But I knew right away personally. But I mean, also, I felt like it was a given because it's the point of the song. It is, but again, if you've seen the movie and you're actively thinking about it, and again, it's more recent for me. Obviously, maybe she hasn't seen it or whatever it may be. So it's all good.
You're still talking about the second Mary Poppins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the first Mary Poppins. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
The first Mary Poppins is amazing and beautiful.
Lucas was actually listening to that soundtrack earlier today, and we were just talking about it. He's like, "Yeah, what a great fucking song."
Yeah.
Chimaru? Heck yeah. So great. You know, but again, she has immense potential. I cannot wait to see more from her.
Yeah. But going back to the luck on the Warfather side, so I do believe that there is a bit of luck inside of the Schmodown. And whenever I talk about luck, for me, luck is just when preparation and something collide. I can't remember the damn thing. Okay, sorry, Lucas. I didn't remember that. My bad.
Okay, so just to clarify, though, that actually happens in both the musical and the sequel. That's what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, that
musical show.
In the first movie, they found it in the from the thing, and also in the sequel, they use the same kite, therefore finding that bond again, using it. So
yeah, definitely didn't remember that. Wow. Mind blown at the moment. Oops, sorry.
No. Well.
All right. Any final thoughts on that match before we move on?
Who do you think Warfather will go up against, realistically? Any rookies? Maybe?
Who could he go against as a rookie? I don't know. It happens, man. Same over here, I guess.
Not sure. But the Flaus. Bert Sheraton.
The Flaus. The most famous person we ever had on this channel.
Oh, man.
Bert, okay.
On the episode, I think I already had 1,000 views.
How Bert Sheridan won that match, in his words, is a fucking miracle.
What if I'm so glad that technically Brett Sheridan is undefeated. Like, let's not say 1-0. We'll just say undefeated.
Undefeated, guys. But even he's like, I'm not good. I'm not actively studying. This is all incidental. I don't know what I'm doing. If I win, it's a bonus.
I love Brett.
No, it's Bert Sheridan.
It's Bert. It's canon now.
Bert.
Anything that happens on Call to Action is canon.
That's the way it goes, guys.
Shout out to all the action generals.
Yeah.
That joke.
All right. Well, moving on. Talk about the exhibition matches recently. I do want to say, people comment in the chat, we're not supposed to talk about them. We asked Christian specifically, and he gave us permission. We could talk spoilers if we wanted to. We just had to say we're saying spoilers and promote the Patreon. But we made the executive decision just not to talk about spoilers, but we still will talk about the match itself a little bit. And then go join the Patreon if you haven't, because it pays to be a patron. These matches are so amazing.
Sign up for that Patreon for sure. The $10 level is going to get you the exhibition matches, y'all. So I've watched most of them. The only match that I haven't seen is the Back to the Future match. But whenever I first heard that these exhibition matches were going to be filmed in the format that we're doing right now, just like on an online format, I really didn't expect much from them at all, but after watching these matches, y'all, like, they're so good. Like, even without some of, like, the dramatics of being next to each other on the desk, with each other on the camera, you do not lose that. Like, there's just something about these matches that have been so fun, and they've done so well, and it's so nice to know that, like, I still get the same feel-good feeling watching these matches in this format with this crazy shit that we have to go through right now. I'm glad that we don't lose the flair and the feeling that we get from the Schmoedown, at least in my opinion. And I think I've heard other people say before that they really like how these have been going, and it just kind of exceeded their expectations. No one was really expecting these online matches to be as fun as they were, but every single match that I've seen has been so much fun, and just it's still a nail biter. Like, you're still kind of going with it, like especially the champions match. Oh man, I had so much fun with that one. That was a really good one. So definitely, it's totally worth it to sign up for the Patreon. If you can do that, then I definitely suggest it. These are some great matches that you don't want to miss out on. So please sign up for this for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I highly recommend them. They're fun. Energy's great. You wouldn't expect the energy to be what it is through just like a streamer kind of thing, but it's there. It's the Schmoedown energy is there. So definitely sign up. It's great. It's worth it. All right. So ready to move on to speculating. The next match we have is Eric Zipper versus Stacey Howard. What are your thoughts? I am excited for that match. Really excited.
I'm actually really excited about this match too. They played against each other before? My brain is a little wine cloudy right now. Have they played against each other before?
I'm terrible at that. I don't remember, at least not in singles.
I don't know why I feel like this is, maybe it's just because I've already heard about this match, but I'm actually really anticipating this match because I think I also have Zipper over Stacey. I love Stacey Howard very, very much. I think that she is one of the most underrated players inside of the Schmoedown. I do not think that she has, I don't think that she's a fluke player at all. I just feel like Zipper is in this place where he needs that redemption and wants that redemption, and I think he's going to take it.
Yeah, I feel similarly. I have Zipper, but Stacey's so hard now to root against, or not root against per se, but like doubt, because she just pulls a win out of nowhere. And you're like, why didn't I think Stacey's gonna get it? She keeps doing this. So I feel like I'm doing the same thing I have done numerous times. I'm doubting Stacey, but I am probably thinking Zipper's gonna get it.
I mean, I remember talking to Eric when we were down in LA, like at the bar, and I remember like we were like chatting over him, and he was just like, man, I really focused on IG for a while, but I love the singles, and I'm actively training. I got note cards and I got books. I'm trying new study tactics, and I'm like, damn boy, I'm loving this. What's up? and something recently at that time just really lit a fire under his ass, and I'm like, this is fantastic. So I was really excited, and he was like, we were like sitting like somewhat close to the bathroom, and like Christian was like going in or out or something, and Eric like touched me, was like, hey, can you get me in singles? And he's like, wait, are you studying? And he's like, yeah, I'm working really hard. I really want to be in singles. And he's like, yeah, okay. And I was like, oh.
You saw history being made, Alex.
No, works, guys. And I was like, oh.
Can you reenact that? Let me film it for our channel. Thanks.
Interrupts, because I don't want to interrupt this precious, beautiful moment. Because the look on his face was like,
I love that story.
And it was so good. And Eric, he was just like so excited, and it felt so. And he was just so excited about it. Not only the idea of actively being involved in Schmoedown, again, but being involved in singles in particular, much more than IG, is something he's been wanting to do for a while, but maybe he never felt like he was confident in his skills until very recently or something. I don't know.
I'm so excited for that for him. I'm excited to see him play. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm excited to see Stacey come back. Like, I just want to see.
I know I miss Stacey so much.
I know. I can't wait to see her entrance. Like, I hope she does something with an entrance. That'd be fun. I know that like a lot of the entrances have kind of calmed down just a little bit. But I really appreciate anyone who put some thought and effort into entrances. I know I can't remember who I got into this argument with. It might have been Fares. I could be wrong, but about Fares just seems like the person who I argue the most with. But entrances, I think, are underrated, and I would love to see Stacey come out in a really fun entrance and stuff like that.
Yeah, same. I loved her entrances. I loved her as a competitor too, but that's still like what I think of when I think Stacey. I think of her fantastic entrances. Her, Xenon Girl 21st Century. Her that one made me so happy.
We did the three-way match with Janine and Draco as Lilu from Fifth Element. I was like, Lily Motipas. And I was like, because I love that movie so much.
Yes. Oh, me too. I do love that movie.
I do want to let you guys know we did have a Streamlabs donation from Movie Finobi. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. He mentions on here, I wish I can pull it. We'll figure out in the future how we can pull it up on screen. But it says women ruling the weekend. Love that. Thank you. A sign of good things. I hope you're all happy, healthy, and not quite insane yet, except Kelsey, because it was another kick-ass Harley episode. Enjoy the night, ladies. Steve.
Thanks. By the way, for personal plug a little bit, I am very behind on the Harley show strictly because my computer, every time I've tried to record, dies. But I got a new hard drive put in today. So I should be good. I should be good now. So keep an eye out for Harley shows.
Kelsey, can I come on your show and chat with you? Because I really want to talk about the Harley show so much. I have so many feelings. I love it. Can't wait. I love the show. I binge watched it one night when I was really aggressively tipsy. I wasn't drunk, but I was aggressively tipsy.
That's the best way to watch it.
I was just casually dancing through the house, eating my box of Cheez-Its. That kind of tipsy, hell yeah. And it was 2 a.m. And so I just binge watched the whole thing. And the first thing I did when I woke up was binge watch more. And I was like, where has this been?
Right? It's everything I didn't know I needed.
Oh, God.
I've heard nothing but good things about the show, especially from Kelsey. So I feel like this is a show that's going to be right up my alley. And if Alex is saying how much she enjoys it, then I know for sure it's going to be right up my alley.
I honestly didn't expect I expected something along the lines of animated Batman from the 90s. And I loved that show way back in the day, but I've only watched a handful of the Batman, the animated films now.
Batman the Animated Series was a show that I watched when I was a kid. I haven't watched any of the new stuff now, but that was one of the shows that I loved to watch. And that was, I think that was I was about to say that was my first introduction into Harley Quinn, but I believe that was the world's first introduction to Harley Quinn.
1992, Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Joker's favorite.
I will always remember that, and I've always been a fan of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and all of the other ladies that are bad ladies in the Batman world, because those have always resonated with me personally, same way that the X-Men show, Rogue was my girl. I love Rogue. And Jubilee, I wanted to be Jubilee so much. I still do. I still want to be Jubilee. So that was fireworks happen. And Storm and Rogue, those are, Storm. Woo! I used to believe that I could control the weather because I would believe that I was Storm. So good times into the Danie line.
Yeah, it's so good. We can just hang out and just chat a lot of those DC animated shows. Are
we'll just actually turn this into a ladies' night. And
can we do a DC Marvel just love appreciation ladies' night?
Yes.
I will cry and be so happy.
Yes, that's officially it. Can we, Alex? Do you agree on this? Next ladies' night is going to be a Marvel DC ladies' night.
Girl, yes. Let's just do it.
Doing it.
All right, but Danie, if you want to get into Harley Quinn, it's more comparable to BoJack Horseman than it is to normal DC stuff.
I've heard that it's more of an adult comedy.
It's very adult, and it's
I cannot wait.
I had no idea going into it. And, I knew it was gonna be adult humor, but I didn't realize how much I would enjoy. How I don't want to say it's a show that's gonna be. It's a movie. It's a show of the times. I feel I am kind of fearful about a lot of the jokes. I feel it's just so right now. I am scared in 2 or 3 years we won't be able to laugh as hard at the jokes.
I can see that.
That's what I'm a little scared of a little bit, especially like there was a joke in the opening scene of today's episode where I was like, ha, that's perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
That's going to age well in like 2-3 years.
We do have a couple of other streamless. You know, it
ages the movies to a certain point, you know.
So we do have a couple of other Streamlabs coming in, as I see, from Mr. Lucas J. Shawshank. I have no idea who that is.
Who's that?
I have no idea. I have a question from Mike Deacon, Bethany Curl. What is the most iconic song of The Little Mermaid? Not the best, but if you had to pick one song that was the biggest from the movie, which would it be? I mean, it's obviously Part of Your World.
Part of your world, poor unfortunate souls.
Are you kidding me? It's Under the Fucking Sea. And
I knew they were going to say that.
Unfortunate Souls.
It is. No, Poor Unfortunate Souls is actually the best song on that whole thing.
Okay, you can make an entire list based on like Disney villain songs, like top 10 villain songs, and Hellfire's up there. You got Scar with
Be Prepared.
Oh, that one is so good.
So good.
It's great. No, it is. Under the Sea is really good. I also really like Kiss the Girl. Under the Sea is one of those pumped up songs. Like I really do get pumped up whenever I hear Under the Sea. And Kiss the Girl is one of my favorite melodies. Like just listen to like all of the sea creatures like harmonize for
It's so pretty. It's a pretty song for sure.
It's so good.
Like Poor Unfortunate Souls is probably like it is my favorite, but I don't feel like it is the best. Just because it's like a song. If I'm like feeling sassy in the car, like driving to work, if that makes sense. But I'm like
most iconic.
I still say
no one else to turn to, and the myths in the past have been nasty. And I'm like, oh,
get it, girl.
It's so good. You can't help but like shimmy. Listen,
well, I know, Alex, you're just as into musical theater as I am. Kelsey, I know that you dabble into that pool as well, and I am extremely, extremely pumped to have my sweet baby, probably honestly, y'all, my favorite celebrity ever, Lin-Manuel Miranda, doing the music for Little Mermaid. It's perfect. It's perfect. I cannot wait for this movie to come out. So I am very much looking forward to the live action remake of that just because of Lin-Manuel. I'm not the biggest fan of some of the live actions that they've been doing. I am a Disney shill, so I do like them. But I think the Cinderella one is the best one, and I think Little Mermaid is going to quickly put itself up there as well.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so. I really am. I think Melissa McCarthy is Ursula.
Yeah, and I'm not happy about that choice. Like that's I think those were the rumors. I don't know 100% if that was confirmed, but I'm not necessarily happy with that choice.
Yeah, it is. I feel again, it's a very safe choice. I guess they felt like they had to play it safe because they're like, oh, we're having
because they already casted a Black
Ariel, so you know we're got to be safe everywhere else.
No, I really wanted man, I can't even think of anyone specifically. Did y'all watch the live TV show of it where Queen Latifah played Ursula?
Yes, and I love Queen Latifah.
Oh, she was so good. Oh wait, have you heard Titus Andromedon play?
Yes. Yes.
I would totally vote for that.
That's
and
not
who want to get No.
Yeah.
Go watch it right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so we do have another Streamlabs really quickly from PC. Love PC. What's up? She says, hello, girls. Always killing it. Thanks. Show these boys who's boss. Ha. That's right, girl.
You know who runs Cult Action. You got them on screen right now.
I will say that I am very proud of us always for having the most females inside of a group of fan reactors and stuff like that. So I really appreciate any other female's opinion when it comes to Schmodown stuff because we get all of these dudes coming in all the damn time, and sometimes I think it's fun to just hear it from a lady's perspective. So shout out to everyone else in the whole team.
That there's a lot of male fans.
Yeah.
Are you saying Schmodown is a male dominant fandom?
We also had a super chat being nice to us to bring it on. Also, you ladies deserve it. Hashtag ladies night. Hashtag Action Army. Hashtag Marvel versus DC. Yeah.
Why do you put Marvel versus DC against each other, man? Why can't we just
we can love both
together?
We can. Who said we can't? I wish somebody would. Let's argue that because I wish somebody would. Not now, but
yeah, we'll argue DC and Marvel versus everything else.
For ladies' night.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be fun. All right. So I think that's all we had for the matches and things. So if you guys are ready, we want to talk about some news we have. Something that's coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow we are having a fundraising stream to help try to raise funds for Craig to help with expenses and things because he went through a very traumatic thing this week that I can't even imagine going through, and we want to be as supportive as we possibly can. So we are doing a fundraising stream. We just going to do all kinds of random conversations and things. Random people will be popping in and out. The goal is to get you guys to donate directly to the GoFundMe. That's first choice. But if you want to donate to us to get us to do things or say things, we'll take that. But we are also going to put those funds to the GoFundMe. So 100%. Just letting you guys know. So that will be tomorrow around the same time we usually have live. That's one reason why we moved this episode. So please be there. We want to see you guys and want to do some good because we need some good in the world right now. So we got another super chat. Mike and Lucas are wrong. Part of your world is the only answer. I got your back, Bethany.
Nevada in the chat.
I have to say, Part of Your World is not even the best version of that song. Have you not heard the makeup version of this? I got blushes and lipsticks aplenty.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Lord.
No, I love Part of Your World. I will defend that song.
You want to make a palette? I got 20.
It's very cute.
No big deal. I want Pat McGrath.
Oh my god. Love it. Love it so much. Oh.
Yeah, again, it's not Part of Your World isn't even the best adaptation of that song. There's
I love Part of Your World. I think it's so much fun.
That are superior to Part of Your World.
It's the only song in that movie I know the words, all the words too.
Yes.
Oh. All right, we have another super chat. Tyler is in the air tonight, but it's all been a pack of lies. Hashtag ladies night, hashtag drum solo.
Boom, 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 boom. I can see it calling in the air.
And then we have another one. I can't believe I'm typing this, but I agree with Jake. Wow.
Have you guys heard of the American Psycho the musical?
No, but I want to now.
Girl, okay, American Psycho the musical. It's amazing. It's based off the book.
I have a question. Please tell me that there's a song specifically about cardstock.
Man.
Oh, there is. Okay.
There is.
Oh my god.
Okay, I wish I can play it. Okay, but the opening song is the card song. It's a card theme. And it's great. And he's like, holy shit. Magnificent, impressive, so thick and yet so light. The lettering, Romalian, the stark is eggshell white.
Oh my god,
Don't take chances in a game.
That's my favorite scene. That's my favorite scene from
Mine too. I love how he's so upset. Yes.
Oh my god.
And I bring it up because In the Air Tonight is actually in that musical as well.
Ooh.
Nice. Alex, I have a question. Where do you see all these obscure musicals? You get to see Heathers. You've seen that. Where are you watching these?
I haven't seen them anywhere. I just
hear the song.
I heard Candy Store randomly somewhere, and I became obsessed with the one song Candy Store from Heathers the musical.
I love that song.
You can find a lot of the broadcast soundtracks on Spotify. That's where I listen to a lot of them. Usually what I like to do is anytime I hear Tony Award shows being nominated, I usually like to go back and listen to them. Percy Jackson is one recently that PJ Campbell put me onto, That one's a really good one. And then they also have like an Alanis Morissette one. And it's just basically a remix of all of her songs. Gotta go and listen to the American Psycho one as soon as we're done here.
Also, if you're a Doctor Who fan, in the London the London version of it, all the music is actually done by Duncan Sheik. If you're into 90s, no? Okay, never mind. He does a lot of rock music. Anyway, but in the London adaptation, West End of this show, the music the actor that plays Patrick
Bateman.
Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now. I apologize. Is actually Matt Smith, who played the Doctor in Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of weird because he looks like an alien. But he's playing like this like super like suave guy. He's like showering. And he's in like the opening scene, he's like, my body is perfect. It's like okay, Lucas, I am seeing your thing. Let me see it. The easiest way to know that you're on the wrong side of history is to look and see if Jake and PLD are agreeing with you. If they are, you need to reevaluate.
Yes. I want you to look a little lower into the Streamlabs and Lucas's the Streamlab before that, because that's a good one right there for you. You see it?
Oh.
You're a jerk, Lucas.
Oh, I love it.
I love you. You're a weenie. But American Psycho, the musical, is fantastic. You should definitely go check it out.
I will.
It's really cool. In the Broadway adaptation of it, they actually, during the murder scenes, they actually include like fake blood splattering, and they actually notify everyone that's in like the first 3 rows that you might get like blood splattered on you. So heads up.
So I will pick the first 3 rows.
Like a plastic shawl thing to put over you. But in the UK, where they did it initially, they didn't do it. They pretty much did it over like a big sheath thing where if he like attacked a body, it would be like a lightning crackle bolt thing situation instead.
So there's have y'all ever heard of Evil Dead the musical?
I've heard of it. I haven't heard any
Evil Dead
term of it.
does the exact same thing. Like they just spew blood on the audience. It's a well-known thing. They do it every year at my local theater. They do it every year around Halloween. They have a Halloween midnight showing, which is the one that I normally go to, and that one's always the last showing. It's so much fun. You get splattered with fake blood just spewing all over you. It's insane. It's one of my favorite things ever. So if American Psycho does that, I bet it's just as fun as the Evil Dead one.
I love that so much.
Really want to play the music for you so bad, but I know we're gonna get pulled right away, so I won't.
Y'all, we're off camera.
We're gonna get someone's Twitch stream set up pretty soon, so the 3 of us can go out and listen to music with everyone else. We can have some dance parties and stuff like that.
There's a song called "You Are What You Wear," where these like 2 ladies are like low key trying to like one up each other with their outfits.
I love it.
You are what you wear. I will try on these lamb versan. I think I'll go to Veragano. I don't know if I'm such a fan.
I need to hear this. All right. You got it, Alex. We're listening to it.
You've sold us. We're sold.
I'm sorry. It's just so catchy.
All right. And the next thing on our agenda is Call to the Network, where we talk about all the amazing shows we have coming up this week. We've already spoken about what's happening on the channel tomorrow. So, Danie, what's happening on Monday?
On Monday, welcome to Chill to Action. I'm so sorry that like at this very second, I know who we have. I'm so sorry. Jada Paramo is coming on Chill to Action on Monday. Monday is also May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. It's not necessarily going to be Star Wars themed, but Paul and I are both Star Wars fans. Paul definitely not much more than I am, but hopefully I'll do some Leia buns or something like that. But Jada Paramo is coming on. A very, very interesting story. So I'm really kind of pumped to talk to Jada and talk to him about how he came about in the leagues. Because if anyone who doesn't know Jada Paramo, he was a fan who competed at the Florida event and then got called up to the big leagues. Mm-hmm. It's a true Cinderella story, and I cannot wait to talk to Jada about it. So come in and hang with us on Monday on Chill to Action with me and Paul Denuzio.
Yay, that's going to be so fun. I'm so excited for that one. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm interested to hear Jada's story. Like, I was in Orlando and I got to see him win, and it was fantastic. But I want to know, like, what led up to his stardom. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
Star Wars.
I remember meeting him. I remember meeting him down there, and like right after, and he was just glowing. He was there with his. I think he was there with his girlfriend. But yeah, he was just like, man, oh my gosh. He looked like he was almost gonna cry. And I was just like, we're living through you, man. So good. Oh, Lucas is bringing it from the chat from earlier. Mm-hmm. Read my other Streamlab about Little Mermaid. So I'm gonna go down and try to find him. Where he says, "Oh, Alex is the only one that is right." # Team Alex.
Oh,
yes.
I feel
That's why I asked you to read it. Lucas said # Team Alex.
All right, and then also Movie Fanobi donated and said, "Read Lucas's super chat to read his Streamlabs. Thank you, money laundering # PLD." Thank you.
Yes, that's hilarious.
All right, and then later in the week on Wednesday, Alex, do we have anything fun happening on Schmobates this week?
Nah.
Oh, no fun on Schmobates this week.
I'm actually really psyched. I'm excited that next Wednesday, I'm actually going to be having not Robert Meyer Burnett, Jesus. Brendan Meyer is actually going to be going up against Eric Zipper. So I'm super excited. It's going to be awesome. Also, Janine, the machine herself, is actually going to be co-hosting with me. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's going to be such a great episode. I'm so excited. Yeah, you guys definitely are not going to want to miss that. All right, and then later in the week, we also have reactions and things to the episodes that are coming up. We will post them right after they become public, usually is when we try to get them out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we have AAA or fan leagues, but we will let you know on social media if those are going to be happening this week. And then, of course, live, normally on Sundays, you will find us back to our normal schedule next week. All right, so now all we have is questions from the chat. All right, guys, got any questions for us? Could be Schmodown related or not. We like talking, so just give us questions.
I just want to go back to the Harley Quinn questions.
Yeah, any Harley Quinn questions?
Can we go back to that? Y'all, really quickly, we are going to prioritize Streamlabs and StreamYard and Super Chat questions, all of that stuff. If you feel so kindly to donate, that would be great. We really do appreciate it. If not, get your questions in the chat.
Yep. So let's see what you guys have in store for us. But while we wait, because no questions have popped up yet, Alex, what do you want to talk about with the Harley Quinn show?
Okay. So the aesthetics of the show is beautiful. It's so colorful and bright and funny. But also, going into it, I knew there was like a lot of like Alan Tudyk was a Joker and everything. But actually, and so sometimes I feel like with a lot of anime movies and shows, I feel like the voice cast is easy to pick someone out. Where it's like knowing that like if Brad Pitt voiced a cow in an animated movie, it would almost be distracting.
You know it's him.
Like, I couldn't really pay attention actively to the movie because I'm like thinking the entire time that's Brad Pitt. I'm watching this. I was going into it thinking that because I know who a lot of these actors are and everything, and I've watched a bunch of the stuff that they're involved with. Going into it, I was thinking that that'd be an issue. No, it's so funny. It's so good. It's not distracting at all. And Lake Bell, where have you been all my life?
You steals every scene.
She is. Who picked her out? Because give that man an Emmy or something for voice casting because they are perfect.
She is so good. She just eats up every single scene she's in. She is my I love my Harley, but Lake Bell as Poison Ivy is my favorite character in the show.
Nice. It's what's her name? Kaylee Kuogo who plays Harley?
Yes. And she does a great job. She really does.
Perfect.
I like her. I've always liked her. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that show that she was in.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang, thank you so much. My mom loves that show.
I wasn't a fan either.
It's fine, but I feel like it's just a movie that's not a movie, but I don't know. I wasn't the big of a fan, but I like Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah.
It's a show that does not age well. Let me tell you that. It's a very problematic show. There's a point where a girl, I mean, like Kaylee Cuoco's character, she has to apologize to Howard's character because he made a robot to see up her skirt, and she told him, "No, you're disgusting. How dare you do this?" And he was so sad. He just like didn't leave his bedroom for a while, and so everyone like convinced her to apologize to him.
Yeah, that's problematic.
That's problematic.
Fuck?
No. Speaking of problematic and Big Bang Theory, really quickly, I finished Hollywood, Kelsey.
Yes.
And Jim Parsons' character, I'm not going to spoil anything for Hollywood, but Jim Parsons is in Hollywood, and
very problematic.
Man, and I feel no, because you understand that he's problematic from the first scene that he's in. But other than that, like I like that last scene with him and Brock Hudson's character. Man, that's kind of a spoiler. I'm sorry. It was so good, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, but anyways, go watch Hollywood.
Watch Hollywood.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It came out just like this week. It's brand new, and it's a Why am I drawing a blank on his name? The guy who does Glee.
Darren Criss.
No, not just Darren Criss, but like the producer of Darren
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy. It's a Ryan Murphy show, and it's so good.
Isn't Ryan Murphy also the guy that did
Scream Queen, American Horror Story?
Yeah.
How did he make the same those shows?
So here's my thing. This is what I was just about to say about Ryan Murphy. I like that Ryan Murphy does a lot of inclusion into, especially on the LGBTQ spectrum. I love that he does stuff like that. And what I really liked about Hollywood is that it didn't seem like it was actually set. I mean, it was set in those times, and there are a lot of problems from those times that you see prevalent inside of the movie. But I think I think you get the sense that it's still sensationalized and it's still not completely grounded in real life, because there are still some things that happen in there. It's like, that could not have ever happened, and actually didn't happen. Like, there are real people in the show and events that happen that aren't real, that never happened in real life. Yeah. So I think that's what's really fun and interesting about it. You get this different perspective on Hollywood. Ryan Murphy, I really enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm glad. It made me so happy when you told me like that.
I finished it. I'm sorry. Kelsey had said one thing about it. I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch it. And then I was texting her, and I was like, Jim Parsons, Patty LaBone.
there was like 10 gifs that went backwards and forwards for a minute.
Oh my gosh, it was nuts.
Yeah, I do feel like I hope there's like more shows or movies that kind of center on Hollywood, in the golden days, because it's such a weird time. I mean, everything was like so everyone was hiding who they were. There was a lot of there was so much sexism and racism and so many weird stories, and
I think you would be really interested in
cover-ups and a lot of stuff going on with the police and crime in LA. I mean, the mob at the time. I mean, like, and obviously Hollywood itself was at the time it was, the golden age. I can't remember what the system was called when they would like hire actors for like 20 movies kind of thing to work with the studio.
They had contracts. I can't remember what that's called.
Yeah. I remember learning it in school, but I remember there was like a official name for it. But it was such a weird.
You're not talking about SAG, right?
What?
You're not talking about like the SAG union or anything like that? Okay.
No. I just it's contract players. You're right. There's another name for it. I can't think what it is right now. But when like they would say like, hey, we're gonna pay you $25 a week and you cannot work for anybody else but us, and you have to do 10 movies with us in the next 3 years. And so then they would be stuck. So like that's why Marilyn Monroe would like only do movies with this one studio, as opposed to like now where it's freelancing.
Image.
Yeah.
He couldn't like dye her hair or she had to be at like the same length and everything. It was like a complete control.
Yeah.
Nuts.
It's not.
All right. We do have some questions from the chat. Any people you are rooting for the rest of exhibition matches?
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Any match that Kevin Smets is in is who I will always root for in every single match that he is in, no matter who it's against. So I think the rest of his exhibition matches are done. But I'm trying to think of anything coming up. I know that there's the action movie exhibition match coming up with Kaiser and Dagnino, and I definitely have Kaiser on that one. I think Kaiser's going to take it. I think that's definitely a Dagnino strength, and Dagnino did win in the Managers Bowl in was it in Florida?
Yeah, or Guy in it too.
I'm sorry.
Isn't Bateman or Guy in it too?
No, I think it's just Kaiser and Dagnino.
Oh, okay.
I think it is. And then I know that there's another Rocky match with Christian Harloff, and I want to say it's also Tom Dagnino in that one, and I think it's just them two.
Yeah,
and, I definitely I can't wait to see Christian Harloff come back and play. Like, I'm so pumped for that. Like, I just want to see him play in a match, and I think it's going to be really fun to see that. So out of those are the only and rom-coms. Who do I have for rom-coms? I think honestly, if I have to pick one person, it's going to be Janine. I think that she has tough competition in the exhibition match with rom-coms, but if you go back and look at Janine's history, she dominates in that category, and I think that she's totally going to take rom-coms. And those are the only ones that I can actually remember.
Hot take.
Is it?
I think. Well, it's not really.
Your take is about to be a hot take.
No, it's not. No, it's not a hot take. For some reason, I feel like Akuga might walk away a winner. Or even Video Drew.
I think.
I don't know why, but I mean, like, I'm feeling risky, so I'm gonna go with one of them winning. You know,
nice.
I know for a fact Janine and Rachel, they're phenomenal in those categories. I know it for a fact, but like I mentioned, I'm feeling risky, so I'm gonna go with them.
Yep. Yeah, for that one in particular, I also kind of lean towards Janine. I think this is her time to shine, and she's gonna kick butt. It'll be close, but I think she's gonna win for sure. And then I have Ben winning the movie release date's name back. I feel like it's his to win, and I want him to win because I want to see his face on the wheel slice again one day. So.
Team action for life. Ben Bateman is totally going to take it. I love Scott Mance. Scott Mance was recently on a Mark Ellis stream. I'm pretty sure it was the Mark Ellis stream.
Yes.
It was Mark Ellis and Ken Knapsack doing their bar trivia, and then Mark Ellis had Ken Knapsack and Scott Mance come on and do Beatles trivia. And y'all, like, as soon as Scott Mance came on to the screen, he had this giant smile on his face, and I don't know what it was, but like as soon as I saw his face, my heart just like started glowing. Like I had this instant positive reaction come through me, and I felt like I just needed to see Scott Mance at that moment, and it was so wonderful. He's such a positive person, and I've heard nothing but good things about him in real life. That it's just so nice, and like his presence just seems like it's so wonderful. So I can't wait to see Scott Mance again, but I think that Ben Bateman is gonna take it, and I think it's gonna be fun to watch.
Guys, you guys want to see something truly atrocious?
No. Yes.
Sure.
Oh God, what is it?
I co-host a show called Cinema Bias with Drew Grant, aka Video Drew, and I was just sent over a thumbnail, and it's terrifying.
Oh no! Oh no!
Get excited.
Well, do you have it on you right this very second?
I do.
Okay.
1 minute.
Well, while you do, okay, there we go. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh. Oh man. That is not nightmare inducing at all. Alex, really quickly though, have you seen Being John Malkovich?
No. Well, that's the point of this show that we have, is that it's a movie that she really enjoys, that she's wanting to spread the love of having me kind of watch it and, kind of learn more about it, because I have never seen that movie at all. Like I've heard of it. I know it's supposed to be weird, very cerebral and nightmare-inducing, but
I really want to hear your personal take on being John Malkovich. I think that's going to be really quite interesting to hear. So as soon as you watch that movie, please send a message in the babe chat so we can really break this down, because I really want to hear, like, I really take some notes, because I would really love to get your actual opinion on being John Malkovich. That movie is a fucking trip, yo.
It is.
I heard that, and I am really nervous, honestly, going into it. And just to give you a heads up, guys, Robert, he's the one actually that makes all these. So thank you so much for making our thumbnails with Cinema Bias. We really appreciate it. If you guys don't know, Robert, it's amazing. He does a lot of freelance work, and he's fantastic, and he's incredibly reliable and amazing. So hit him up if you.
And he's a Texan, so hashtag Texas forever. Yes, absolutely. Okay, y'all, we do have another Streamlabs from PC again. Girl, you're the best. My all-time favorite drink, White Russian. Big props to Danie for my La La Land drink. You're very welcome, girl. If things get back to normal, every action person is invited to my birthday party in October. Much love. Hell yeah.
Yay!
I crashed that party so quick.
Absolutely. You're going to regret inviting us. That's what's going to happen.
That's very true.
All right. We also have a super chat question. Why is Parks and Rec the greatest TV show of all time?
I have
What'd you say, Alex?
I have 1,000,001 fucking answers for that. Have you not seen? Did you not see the reunion episode that came up like the other day?
My heart.
I didn't cry.
I was so mad at my local news station because I went to go and turn it on. First of all, I had already forgotten. I couldn't find what time. It had said 8 p.m. and it never said if it was Eastern, Central, or Pacific. So it was Eastern. So it was already almost 8 o'clock my time in Central. And so I'd already missed it. So when I went to try to go and find it on the TV to catch the rest of it, my local news was having this town hall thing, just talking about reopening and stuff like that, because I'm in Texas and our governor sucks. And so I didn't get to watch it right as soon, but like I have terrible sleep patterns right now. So I waited until the middle of the night and I watched it like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was just bawling my eyes out the entire time. It was so perfect and so wonderful. I was really worried about how they were going to do it, and then the way they did it was so good.
I love that show so much. It is my favorite comedy of all time. I've watched it probably 5 times a year just because I'm in the mood for it. And the special they just did, and then I also had just watched Big Little Lies. Adam Scott's super on my mind right now, so I like Adam Scott a lot.
I gotta watch Big Little Lies.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. But Parks and Rec is so good. It is by far my favorite.
It's one of those shows that I haven't really. It took me quite a little bit to really get into The Office, and just because I get uncomfortable very easily, and there's entire episodes where I'm like, I refuse to watch this because it makes me so uncomfortable. But also on that note, James Spader and Will Ferrell are a godsend to that show. I love them in that show.
See, I've been watching The Office for a very long time, and I know that a lot of people were very upset at when Steve Carell left. I liked D'Angelo Vickers. Like I liked his character mostly just because I like Will, but I'm glad that wasn't anything that was gonna stay. Same thing with Idris Elba's character. Like I liked them, but they what was his name? Charles.
Idris Elba.
Them. I'm sorry.
Idris Elba.
Yes,
character.
Idris Elba.
Alba.
But Charles's character, I like them, but it wasn't my favorite. I did really enjoy Kathy Bates's character on that. Even though it wasn't as small, but man, I did like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It was.
I enjoyed it after Steve Carell left. I did enjoy it after Steve Carell left, but I think that was what was really hard for people to get into Parks and Rec in the first season because it was so similar to The Office, and Michael Schur was the one who was doing it. The guy who plays Mose in The Office, he's the one who writes all of these, and The Good Place, which is one of my favorite shows. And I love his shows very, very much. And I think he did really, really well when they kind of got away from being so similar to The Office on Parks and Rec. And I think that's really when it started to hit its stride.
Yeah.
And I think it was really fun getting to know all these characters. And Parks and Rec is one of my all-time favorite shows. I still watch it on repeat. Like, I'll go through The Office, and I'll go through Parks and Rec, and then I'll go through The Good Place, and then I'll go through Community, and then I'll go through New Girl, and those are just my rotations.
You got your rotations. I've got mine too.
Yeah.
Question. If Parks and Rec were to have a spin-off based off of one character, which one would it be?
Andy Dwyer.
Ooh.
Mine would be Ben White. It would be his whole entrepreneurship with the Cones of Denshire and stuff like that. It would just be...
Oh my god, no. Okay. The worst. John Ruff.
The worst. Yeah, let me get a John
Yeah.
Yes, please. Ben Schwartz is such a great actor. So there's
great.
There's a show on Netflix called Middleditch and Schwartz, and it's a complete improv of Thomas Middleditch from Silicon Valley and Ben Schwartz from John Ralphio from Parks and Rec. It's so fucking good, y'all. Go and watch that on Netflix because it's hilarious. I cracked my ass off watching it the entire time. It's so good.
I'm like really iffy on them, honestly. Like, I don't like Silicon Valley. That show makes me very uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, okay, there's more things about Silicon Valley that should.
But remember the Nick Kroll, John Mulaney show that they did?
Yeah,
I hated that show. I hated that show. Like, it made me so uncomfortable. I watched like 20 minutes. I'm like, nope, it's not for me. That's fine. It's just not for me.
That's my kind of humor. I love it. The podcast. I've only listened to one episode. I can't think of any of what it's actually called, but the podcast. And it's so funny. That's my kind of humor, and I think it's really funny. So, like, what's the animated TV show?
Big Mouth. I love Big Mouth.
I love Big Mouth.
I love that fucking show.
It's so good.
It's like the best. It's so. How can a show be so on point about growing up, going through puberty from both a male perspective and a female perspective as well? It's just so on point. And like, it's like Hormone Monster. Where's my Hormone Monster?
Oh, my Hormone Monster hangs. I see her and hang out with her all the damn time. We go into like musical numbers with each other all the damn time. So I'm very much in touch with my Hormone Monster, and she brings out the worst in me. Your mic is off.
Muted.
Oh, the kitty cat. That's your Hormone Monster right there, the kitty cat.
Yo.
Constantly sleeping. That's there.
All right, we have another question. What is your favorite cartoon shows growing up and now?
Oh, I just talked about that.
No, I think it kind of depends on the time. Immediately, the first show that came to my mind was Rugrats.
Yes.
Rugrats is one of the first things. Real Monsters was another one that I very much enjoyed.
Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold. Those Nickelodeon shows were pretty good to me around a certain time. Like I said, the animated Batman series, the Spider-Man one, the X-Men one, those were all shows that I watched growing up as a kid. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is probably I think if you would have given me just a tiny bit more second, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is my number one, absolutely 100%.
Did you guys ever watch Batman Beyond?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah,
Batman
I
Beyond.
love that fucking show so much. I know it's like you either love it or you hate it, but I thoroughly enjoyed that show so much, and it felt it very very much leaned into like a anime aesthetic almost.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was like incredibly angular, and like I loved the colors, the color aesthetic that they kind of went with as well. Yes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I still like. There's a handful of episodes I feel like I remember like start to finish, and one of them it was about Clayface.
Ooh,
and the other one was about Scarecrow. I don't know why, but those in particular, I remember so well. And other parts, I can't. It took me like 5 years to remember Lucas's birthday.
That sounds on brand for Alex.
Now I know, I have to confirm, but it took me like 5 years to remember. We've been together for like 10 years though, just to clarify.
Yeah. Everything you guys have said I've agreed with. I also loved like Doug and Pepper Ann and those ones too.
Doug. Oh,
Doug.
I love Doug. I love Doug.
And then there was like Rocko's Modern Life was the other one.
I love Rocko's Modern Life. And so there's a Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy do this little song, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
Do you remember Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Two Stupid Dogs, Angry Beavers,
Cat Dog.
Yes. All those Nickelodeon shows, dude, I was way more into Nickelodeon when I was younger than into the Disney animated stuff. And honestly, whenever I was younger, Disney wasn't anything that you had quick access to. It had to be a part of a cable thing. You had to pay to get Disney. So I never got Disney until I was a little bit older, whenever it was more available on like the Disney Channel, Channel 57, where I'm from. I remember that because it was 36 for Nickelodeon, it was 37 for Cartoon Network, or I'm sorry, Disney, and it was 44 for Cartoon Network. I also very much loved the Wacky Races. Any Hanna-Barbera cartoon, now that I'm thinking about it, all of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, the Pink Panther, Stuffer and Succotash, I can't think of his name at the moment, the Wacky Races, those were all, like, I love those. I used to want to get a Wacky Races character tattoo, not on my arm, but like on my leg. Dexter!
Oh. Well, I used to love
Johnny
this show.
Bravo.
Oh my gosh, Gargoyles. Remember Gargoyles?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
I didn't want to.
Where's my childhood just like jumping up screen?
Life is like
oh my
hurricane here in Duckburg. Okay.
Lucas, I want to say your birthday is October 22nd. Is it October 22nd? I want to say it's October 22nd. Please tell me it's October 22nd. Now I'm like overthinking. It's the 22nd, right?
Yep.
All right. And then so you guys know, chat questions do disappear after a while. So if we talk a lot, they disappear. So I think a bunch disappeared for the beginning of us asking questions.
Let me ramble.
Yeah, so let me see the next question.
Lucas, I do want to confirm it was not a guess. Like, I'm pretty confident that is your birthday, but being on the spot like this makes me nervous. Where I'm like, am I misremembering? But I believe it is the 22nd.
Oh,
Ed and Nettie. Someone said Ed and Nettie in there. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I used to. Oh, where?
Mighty Ducks the cartoon. Yes. What's also where they were sharks. They were sharks. Someone in the chat, let me know. Samurai Jack was actually really good.
Ooh, that was great.
Oh, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, like the
I love
like Coast to Coast, like when we did like the fucking late night show on all of that. Oh my gosh,
I loved late night Cartoon Network because it had Space Ghost, and after that was another show called like Home Movies. That one was on. I watched that.
Can't forget.
And Cartoon Network.
Also, Cowboy Bebop was on.
I never watched it.
What is wrong with you people? Like, Cowboy Bebop. Okay, so Cowboy Bebop was like the first show where I was like, first anime show where I was like, this is awesome. It's really cool. It's gritty. The soundtrack is amazing. I still listen to the soundtrack to this day. It's so good. But it's only like a few, like 1 or 2 seasons. It's just beautiful though. It is pretty darn unanimously, like, no matter who you talk to, if they're an anime fan, they love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, that's why I always thought it was a movie. Like, I didn't realize it was.
They did do a movie that was like released in Japan, and like, you know, but I mean that was it pretty much. It's so good.
I just know that there's an animal character that's really cute.
Oh, okay. So there's this little girl named Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Edward, but she does have a corgi dog. That's really cute.
Cute. Oh, is it a corgi? It's a corgi, right?
It's a corgi, yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's what I remember from Cowboy Bebop. It's the corgi.
Oh, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, shit.
Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I can remember watching the first Pokemon movie, y'all. Like when Ash gets frozen and like Pikachu tries to revive him. Oh my gosh. That still breaks my heart.
Waterworks.
Oh my god. Pikachu.
Pikachu. I cried. Okay, I watched it like a year and a half ago. I bawled my fucking eyes out. I was like openly weeping. I was like, I was totally fine. And then this movie crushed my fucking soul.
Yeah. Absolutely 100%. Oh my gosh.
So good.
All right. Well, like I said, all the questions disappeared, guys. So if I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. They're gone. I can't see them.
Digimon.
Digimon.
I never watched
Digimon. Oh, the champions. Okay, Digimon honestly has some of the best movies. Digimon, the movies are like till today some of my favorite anime movies.
Tiny Toon Adventures. Yes, Leo. Yes, I loved those. Those were so much fun. I was recently watching a video about a band episode where the Tiny Toons get into alcohol and they start drinking alcohol. We are nerds. It happens.
Nerds and proud.
Bigger nerd than we are, or at least me. But Tiny Toons, exactly, where they were drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes, and then had to like, it's a band episode. It's so nuts.
Oh, Powerpuff Girls. Oh,
absolutely.
Ladies, okay, we're gonna talk about Harley Quinn. We gotta talk about Powerpuff Girls at some point.
Yeah.
Inevitably.
No, seriously. I feel like it's very hard to place us into Powerpuff Girls categories.
Oh, what if we had to place ourselves into Sailor Moon categories?
See, that makes me feel better because there's more variety instead of a 3. Because I feel like the only for sure is that Alex is Buttercup.
Yeah, Alex is definitely a Buttercup.
The only one that
I mean as a compliment. Buttercup was my favorite. So.
Mine too. But like, she's also the hard ass of the group.
She is the hard ass
on the inside, and that's absolutely Alex. But like, I could never figure out who would actually be Bubbles or Blossom between us. Like, I think
we both have Blossom and Bubbles.
Exactly.
No, I hate to break it to you guys, but I can pretty quickly say Kelsey, Bubbles. Blossom.
I'm gonna have my hair red.
100%. I mean, have you fucking looked at yourselves? I mean, come on.
My hair red, and then Alex can leave.
No, I'm not even basing this off looks, though. I mean, but come on.
No. Yes, I know. I get it.
Come on now.
Add on to it.
There we go. We need a group photo of us.
We do.
As
I'm gonna order those shirts for us, and I'm just gonna toss it at your face. So we're just looking out. So shirts. Okay, so guys, girls here. We have a chat on Facebook chat called the C2A Babes chat, and I found this T-shirt last night, and I sent him a picture, and I was like, well, next time we meet up at a live event in 1,000 years after quarantine, and we group hug and run to each other in slow motion.
Dun, 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 dun.
Or Chariots of Fire. Dun, 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 because it's just as a moment.
Oh, the Lion King cartoon, yes, with Timon and Pumbaa. Also, the Aladdin cartoon. I actually really liked the Aladdin cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the ones that I can remember that were on TV shows for sure. I remember Aladdin. I really, really enjoyed that one. I can't think of any other show.
Aladdin and 40 Thieves.
That movie, like the movie Aladdin Part 3 is a banger. Don't sleep on that movie. I don't care if it was that movie was a fucking banger. Like, Robin Williams comes back to play Genie, and it was perfect. I loved that movie. And I'm like such a daddy's girl. Like, anything that has to do with like dad issues or like dad connections I always fucking love to watch. So that movie for sure gets to me.
Let's see, there's that one. As far as like animated Disney sequels go, oh my gosh. For when I was in like first grade, I was really obsessed with, I think it was Lion King 2.
Lion King 2 or Lion King 1.5?
No, it was like, yeah, there was 1.5 and there was 2.
It was Scars.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it was like a Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah.
Between
Scar's kid,
Simba's daughter,
and Simba's
kid. And Simba's nephew.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, problematic, but pretty darn common, I imagine, with, them lion folk. But, oh my gosh, the music is
so good. I love that movie.
I mean, to be fair, Nala and Simba were cousins, weren't they? Like, isn't that like how...
It's incredibly incestuous. It's already a royal family. So
they're animals, right? So let's not...
Yeah. Nala and Simba, they were siblings, literally.
Not like brother and sister, but definitely...
They were. They had the same father.
Yeah.
Same father, therefore...
Well, no, I guess you're right, because that is technically, like, I just remember watching a video, like, trying to break that down and stuff, like, and I was like, okay, but, like, let's just, it's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, good thing. Well, I'm not seeing any more chat questions, so let me double check. Nope, no Streamlabs, so I think we are good to probably call it a night. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We've had a lot of fun. And Alex, where can people find you?
I'm just offended no one else is asking more questions because I'm not done yet. I'm here to chat longer with our ladies, and you guys stopped asking us questions.
Alex is trying to turn this into a ladies' night. See,
I've been wanting a ladies' night for so long. Ladies, I need a ladies' night.
It's true. No, it's true.
I need to talk more about American Psycho. I need to talk more about Schmo. I need to talk more about Cheez-Its.
White Claw. White Claw. We can talk about all of it.
I'm an old lady now, so I constantly have this on my nightstand. Also, directly next to my leaf. Because I am 9 years old now.
Readily available, like a full bottle of wine readily available next to me. I also have a cup of fruit that is with some chili, but these are cucumbers with some chili powder and a lime juice. So,
yeah, I have empty cans of White Claw and a Sharpie. So that's what I got near me. It's very impressive.
You're so fucking organized.
We do have 2 questions that I can see right now from Fares and from Leo Logan, if anyone wants to click on those really quickly.
Why do you like American Psycho? Because it's fantastic.
Fares, why don't you like American Psycho? This is a real question, sir. Have you
wonderful satire commenting on a bazillion and one different issues. It's commenting on toxic masculinity. It's talking about capitalism. It's talking about classism.
It also kind of really is on an unreliable narrator. I think that's my favorite thing about the book and the movie also. Like, you can kind of take that away. One of my favorite things about the movie is that I can't remember the name of the director, but it was directed by a woman. And I've always thought that, like, I've always really kind of liked that aspect of the movie. But the book, I think it's one of my favorite instances of an unreliable narrator. Fight Club kind of does the same thing with it, where they go into that. But I love those types of stories and those types of books where, like, you kind of have to dig between the lines and just kind of piece together what could be
really happening. Yeah.
So that's what I really love about American Psycho.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, go and watch it.
It's really wonderful. American Psycho, the movie, I feel like it's a really wonderful, like, really interesting movie adaptation. Danie, whenever you go talk about it on your show, I can't wait to hear you guys' take on it. But it's one of those movies where, again, it's all about the unreliable narrator. And things about Fight Club, I actually personally don't like that comparison, just because in Fight Club, now they talk about a lot of different things. I mean, different themes and everything. But in Fight Club, it's predictable. You recognize pretty quickly that he is Tyler Durden. I mean, and
I would argue.
I didn't think.
I read the book for the first time when I was in middle school, and before I even saw the movie, and I was like, wait, is this a split personality? And I figured it out within a few chapters.
That's awesome, because that was not anything that I thought of. Like, obviously, my favorite thing about it was that you don't realize it until later on, and it's like, oh shit! And then when you go back on a reread, it's completely obvious, or a rewatch for the movie. Also, it's completely obvious. Like, it's right in front of your face, but it's something that you need context from. So I didn't catch it.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I would say maybe I just had like a different interpretation of it right out the gate, but I felt like reading it for the first time, I was like, split personality or something, or like a twin maybe or something like that. That was like my first thought. But anyway, okay, so unreliable book. I mean, unreliable book.
Unreliable narrator.
Smells so good.
Is that the book of that? Does that have Christian Bale's face on it?
No.
Okay, good. I'm not a fan of books that are movies that have the movie art cover on it. I went to go get Fight Club, and it was during the pandemic, so I called ahead of time to my local bookstore, my used bookstore, to try to get it, and then they had it, and then they brought it out, and it ended up being the one with the movie on it, and I hate books with the movie covers on it. I really genuinely do.
Me too.
I'm kind of bummed out about that, but whatever.
All right, we have another question. Will the Pride display heelish behavior against the real rejects? I mean, they're heels! Yeah, I feel like they will.
Oh my gosh, after she did that, I was just like, this is why you're perfect. And I was just like, it just made me like realize even more. I mean, like, as I already realized going into it, like about Goddard, and I was just like, you know, just a little bit, but like, obviously, like, if you're gonna be a heel, probably.
I love that.
What do you go about it this way? But we're not in Schmodown. We're just observers of Schmodown.
Yeah.
I still have. I do think I still have that stupid song stuck in my head, the DuckTales song. But I do think that the Den should really, or the Pride, I'm sorry, should really embrace that and just go with it and flow with it, because ultimately it's still a storyline inside of the Schmodown. Yes, we get to see Rachel personally and we get to see Ben personally, so we know them on a different level. But I think when it comes to Schmodown stuff, I would still completely accept them for the heels that they're supposed to be, and would love to continue to watch them go on this heel run. And I think it's going to be interesting to continue to see that as well.
Absolutely. A heel probably shouldn't say, we're heels!
I think it was just a moment thing, and I think that's going to be something that's going to take them up for a while, but should embrace it and just roll with it, man.
I mean, that's the point, you know. But.
All right, another. Let's see. Question.
I'm just gonna step back really quickly, and I'll come right back, y'all. Give me one second.
Sounds good. What type of exhibition match would you guys compete in that hasn't happened yet?
Young adult adaptation, rom-com, costume drama. I feel like I actually would be okay with.
Mm-hmm. That they've never done. I don't. Have they done a DCEU one? I know they've done Marvel, but I don't know if they've done DC.
Yeah, they're doing an MCU. They haven't done a DC.
So that's probably where I would shine then. Would be DCU.
I can see that.
That's probably the one. I'll wait for that question until Danie comes back, because I feel like she can answer it better.
Movie soundtracks.
Ooh.
Like scores and soundtracks, I mean. I feel like that's almost, like, I wouldn't be good at it, but I would love to see it. I feel like it's almost impossible to get that one, though.
Yeah, that one would be so hard, but I would love to watch it.
It would be so cool. And, well, so there's so many themes and everything that are so iconic, but a lot of people, they don't know who their names are. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. Not to mention, you know, I don't like to say the art of the soundtrack. I feel like that's a weird thing to say, but so many great soundtracks are kind of forgotten about until like Black Panther. And when Black Panther came out with that soundtrack, oh my gosh.
That was a great soundtrack. I don't know. I didn't get to see the question, but that Black Panther soundtrack was great.
Yeah, that one and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, not 2, but 1.
Yeah, I think the soundtrack for 1 is way better than 2. I like 2 all right, but
I thought 2 was all right. I do like them both very much, but I agree. 1 was definitely better than 2.
All right. We saved this question for when you came back.
Impossible. Like, that's
Okay.
honest to God impossible.
I'm
I probably want to break it down by genre, like favorite war movie adaptation.
I'm going to pick mine based off of one that I didn't like the book that much, but I love the movie. So therefore, the fact that it made me like it more, and that is going to be The Devil Wears Prada. I did not like the book. I did not like the book at all, really. But that movie is one of my favorite comedy movies. I watch it all the time.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? That is not a comedy. That is straight up a fucking drama. That is okay, maybe scratch that. It is a black comedy.
Yeah.
And also, fuck her boyfriend, Andy.
Dude, her boyfriend
is
that dude. Adrian Grenier, I think is his name.
Whatever the fuck his name.
The guy from Entourage. No, I think I had already like had these Entourage associations with him. So when I watched the movie, like it just added on to the douchiness of this character, and it just made it 10 times worse for me because it's like, fuck this dude, man.
But also fuck her friends as well, because she's actually part of a group where she's starting to care about what she's doing. She's doing good at it, and her friends are making fun of her, taking pride on what she's doing, but at the same time, they love mooching off her as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, a little clinique. And she's like, ooh, gimme. But at the same time, they're making fun of her for taking a job where they would get a lot of those benefits. Like, dude, assholes.
Whenever I think of best book to movie adaptations, I think it kind of is your own sort of thing, because is it a movie that did the book justice, or is it a movie that was better than the book and just kind of went on the themes of it? I think personally my favorite one is going to be The Princess Bride. That is one of my favorite movies, but when it comes to adaptations, there's so much more inside of the book, but the movie pretty much touches on everything that happens inside of the book. The book just allows you to have way more details into each of the story that's in there. So if I had to pick one, and I'm just trying to pick something out of my brain right now, I think it would be The Princess Bride for sure.
Classic.
And that's my final answer.
PC is mentioning what about Lust?
Lust?
I don't know what it's referring to.
I might have to. Those properties, if it's a book and a movie, it's just not something that's coming straight to my brain at the moment. So PC, just for you, girl, I will definitely look into that because I'm gonna want to know more about it.
I don't know what that's referring to.
We'll figure it out. Kelsey, do you have a favorite one?
I said Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Which I don't know if that's actually my best one, but that's the one that came to mind first. So yeah. All right. So I don't know if there's any more questions, but I think we're probably ready to call it a night. I think we asked Alex where to find her. I don't remember now.
I think we did.
I don't think so. I don't
okay,
know.
well, Alex, where can we find you?
I also on Tuesdays I host Cinema Bias with Drew in the evening, so it's really fun. We're gonna be watching, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna be diving into the movie Being Jock Malkovich. I have not seen it before. She really loves the movie. I haven't seen it, so I'm kind of going in very fresh. I know nothing about it other than it's a weird fucking movie. So that's gonna be really, really interesting.
All right. Great. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And Danie, where can people find you?
What's up, y'all? You know me. You can find me on Twitter at DanieJoy, right here, DanieeJoy. You can also find me here on the Call to Action Network every Monday, hosting Chill to Action with my favorite co-host, Mr. Paul Denuzio, hanging out over there. You can also find me. I do have my own personal YouTube page. If you ever see me anywhere, you can click on that. I do not have that link readily available at the moment, but you can find me there. Watch the Book is coming out soon. I'm so sorry that it was supposed to come out yesterday. Has not come out yet, but just had some family drama happen, so I have to deal with that before I can deal with editing, and editing is a lot harder than I thought, so it'll be out soon.
Challenges.
All right, and you can find me at KelseyKins90 on Twitter and Instagram. I also run the Call to Action Podcast Instagram, so you can check us out there. TeePublic, we've got merch. Apparently, I think they're out of stock right now, but we have face masks. So if you really feel inclined to have the Call to Action logo on a mask, that is an option now. You can also find me on my personal YouTube channel. Just search Kelsey Kirkland and click on my face, and you can subscribe there. And I talk about movies and video games and do reactions, and then we do a review of the Harley Quinn show. So check me out there. All right.
And
well,
we'll be on that show sometime, right?
Yes, we will work it out. We're gonna have you on. That's gonna be great. I'm so excited. It's better to have somebody on to talk about it with than just me
oh my gosh,
my opinion.
there's so many thoughts. Can we just dive into each episode, just like really dissect every single line? I feel like
we'll plan something. We gotta do it.
Worth the effort. That good.
Yes. All right. We'll plan something. Well, thank you so much for joining us this Saturday night. We will see you tomorrow on our fundraiser stream, and we will see you guys later.
Thank you, Lucas.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.